some crazy bedlam football games over the years. We have just witnessed one of the strangest. Oklahoma 28, Oklahoma State 13. Al Eschbach, Gideon Hamilton, Jim Traber here on campus. Rashaun Woods. Guys, I don't know where to start. What we just watched is wow. Oklahoma gets to a 28-0 lead. I don't think they got another first down the rest of the game. Strange clock management by OU. Mike Gundy, I don't know what he was doing at times. Instead of trying to win the game like we talked, he was very conservative. And go ahead, I'll let you, Jim. Jim, start. We sat next to each other to watch this game.
Well, we ended our pregame show talking about how Mike Gundy in the Bedlam game, frankly, does a horrible job of coaching, and he continued again today. It was absolutely ridiculous. If I'm an OSU fan, I am so livid with Mike Gundy, it's beyond belief. This guy is a joke in a Bedlam game. That's what he is. And if you OSU fans want to get mad at me, that's fine. But that's the truth. He does not coach the Bedlam game to win. He does not. He never does. The only time he wins the game is when his players make big-time plays. He does not help his team. He's the best coach in the history of the school, but when Bedlam rolls around, they should leave him at home and have somebody else coach the game. That's the truth. I don't want to take away from OU's unbelievable 28-0 performance early. I don't know what they did the rest of the game, but I couldn't believe what the guy was doing. Punting the ball. It's like he's scared to death of the game.
Well, Sanders got mad at one time.
Yeah, Spencer Sanders was yelling at the coach because he's punting the ball when they're like 2 down. I mean, 2 scores down.
Let me throw another pick, coach.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, well, I understand he threw the ball in bad places today. But are you going to try? Mike Gundy does not try. I'm sorry, Gideon. I know you and Rashaun are both going to disagree. He is a joke in a Bedlam game. That's what he is. He's a great coach. He's horrible in the Bedlam game.
Good, Gideon.
No, this was like popping in the tape from a couple of years ago where if Sanders is just really bad in the beginning, they have a chance to come back and win. Kind of like the Big 12 championship game.
Exactly right.
If he's just really, really, really bad early, they probably win that game. Instead, he's hilariously bad, and so there was no way that they were going to be able to climb out of that hole. So that was another factor that kind of
you're right.
I thought played a part in
Spencer
today's
Sanders
game.
throwing 4 interceptions. I mean, we talked before the game.
And let's get the OU defense good. They only gave up 13 points. We ripped this defense. You give up 13 points, you get the interception. That's a heck of a game by the defense.
I will give a lot of credit to OU. There's no doubt. They came out on fire. I mean, they came out unbelievable in this game. And then I thought when they got up 28-0, I thought they lost concentration. I really did. I thought they just said, well, we're going to do this. And then OSU gained a little bit. And look what happened. You know, OSU somehow, they really were never, I mean, they're a score away from being in the game, but they really dominated. They dominated 3 quarters and got beat. That was the truth.
Coach Woods, your thoughts?
Haven't yet.
We don't have him yet, so we get Coach Woods' comments.
Hey, you're a punk. Go away. I picked OU to win, you idiot. I picked OU to win, you fool. You want to call me another name? Come on, you think you're all big and bad? Come call me another name.
We may be having a fight here, right? On our post-game
you want some
show.
of me? You little punk.
Traber, ready to take on.
You want some of me?
We got a punk.
You stupid fool. Get out of here. Get away. Get away. I'll get you arrested.
It's like
you hear me?
when you
get out of here.
You guys call boxing on the radio.
We got something. Yeah, it's like we get to describe this. I mean,
gonna call me names, old piece of junk. Okay, I'm okay. What's up? Anything else going on? What are we doing?
There's a Beatles song named after him. It's called "Fool on the Hill."
Yep, that's exactly right. Are you talking about me?
No.
What did Rashaun? I'm sorry, Rashaun. I'm screaming and yelling.
We're still waiting.
We're still waiting on Rashaun.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway.
But a strange game, right? I mean,
oh my gosh,
totally dominated for 3 quarters.
Well, what do you think happened with OU offensively after the early? Do you feel like they went into more of a shell, or do you feel it was
I
just
thought
lack
they
of
lost
execution?
concentration.
I thought in the second quarter, early third, lack of execution, dropping passes. That
Yeah.
then they went to shell, and Gabriel couldn't hit anything. And instead of running the ball, you got Eric Gray run the ball.
Run the clock.
Yeah, run the ball, run the clock.
My goodness, they had Matt Meyer, you got to help us because we had problems with our phones. It was just a crazy night. Matt Meyer, please. How many consecutive 3-and-outs did OU have and punt? Do you know?
Well, when you look at the drive chart here.
I mean, because I'm telling you, I think it was about 7 in a row. Something like that.
After they got up 28-0, 3 and punt, didn't get a fourth down, threw a pick. 4 plays and punt, 5 plays and punt. 3-and-out, 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 3-and-out.
That I'm close.
The final 6 drives were 3-and-outs besides the kneel down.
That is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. I mean, I think Al's right. It was execution, but I think it was because of loss of concentration. I really do. I thought they just started saying, okay, we're up 28-0. This game's going to be over with.
Yeah.
And even though OSU I thought had some chances to do some things, but I do give credit to the OU defense. They made plays when they had to. But man,
and they put good pressure on Sanders.
Oh yeah,
and
they
really
definitely did that.
In trouble this year with
and he's hard to sack. I mean, the guy rolls out so well.
You can't turn the ball over and win the game. You can't. No. You can't.
No, four interceptions is just unfortunately, Gideon. That's the way he used to play, right?
No, it's the way he plays in big games that matter a lot for them. And what was amazing for people that maybe didn't see the game, but some of these are like you watch a game and you go, well, he might have thrown for 6 touchdowns, but I mean, they end up throwing for a touchdown on the same drive. So that doesn't really make sense.
Right.
So there were times in this game where he threw it right to an OU defender and they just dropped it. And then he would throw an interception later on the same drive. So that doesn't really count. But legitimately, he probably should have thrown 8 or 9 picks.
Listen to this. Blaine, you just read it off, Matt, but I'll summarize it. Blaine just said OU punted or turned it over 12 straight drives and still won the game. That is, how many times does that happen?
Well, again, defense.
No, you're right. They made the plays when they had to. And then, of course, Mike Gundy, I'm sorry, putting the ball when he shouldn't. I just don't understand what the heck the guy does in this game, but it was it's a good win for OU. They get bowl eligible.
You go to Tech next week.
This
was a huge recruiting weekend for them. Huge.
Mm-hmm.
So, it just Oklahoma State gets West Virginia. What bowl? Oh, I don't know what bowl OU's going to go to.
I don't know. They're both going to go to like Cheez-It bowls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know that, man. I don't know what bowl either. By the way, this USC-UCLA game is just incredible. I mean, it's just they finally stopped USC. I don't know if you saw that. They've stopped them finally. It's 48-45 with about 2.5 minutes to go.
These teams, a couple of weeks ago, I said they might finish with the same record. They very well could. If OSU, if OSU loses to West Virginia at home and then OU wins next week.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, Spencer Sanders was wearing that coach out on the sidelines. You see that, Gideon? Did you see him screaming and yelling at that coach?
No, didn't see it.
I mean, he was wearing him out, and that's the time where they didn't go for it. And then even the announcer, it's 4th and 26. The chances of not getting it, but you're down 2 scores with like 2.5 minutes to go. How do you punt? You never punt. You could be 4th and 50, and you got to at least try it. I don't know. We'll see. I'm sure people. I'd be interested to see if anybody really asks any hard questions of Mike Gundy about that stuff. But Spencer Sanders got a lot of heart. He's banged up. And OU's defense, like you said, Al, they made plays when they had to. But that start was one of the greatest starts I've ever seen. You know it?
It's like the start a couple of years ago where Sanders was throwing all those interceptions and they're going down the field.
I forgot about that.
They're up 21-0 like in 6 minutes
20,
or something
21
like that.
nothing. Yeah. What was the end final score of that game? That was really, really ugly, right?
That's the one where Sanders got hurt. It looked like he had a concussion. And Illingworth came in. He threw like 16 straight incompletions or something like that. He was 5 of 21. It was raining.
I remember that. Yeah.
How many straight incompletions Gabriel throw
he was
at the
0
end
for
of the game.
11. He went 11 in a row without completing the pass.
And then at the last drive, they're throwing again. So was he
Yep.
0 12 in the last 12 passes?
See, that's when, again, remember I told you, Al, that Brent Venables needs to meet with Bob Stoops in the offseason because Bob Stoops would tell Mike Leach, hey, run the ball.
You're right. You're
okay?
right. Yes.
I mean, Jeff Lebby is an offensive guy. Sometimes offensive people, they don't think, they just want to go and get it. Sometimes you go say, hey, Jeff, we're winning by 2 touchdowns, dude. Let's go ahead and run the ball.
And he was throwing on first down every time. Every time.
Yeah, it just didn't make. And then he ran it.
And then
it was
ran,
35.
so then you say, you
then
throw
they throw an
five.
incompletion, and it's a 20-second.
Yeah.
You get the ball for 20 seconds.
Just time management was very bad. I thought by OU.
I said
really bad.
I said to Al late in the game, I said, Al, unfortunately, we're watching 2 teams that aren't very good.
Sure. Yeah.
That's the truth. I mean, I know people don't want to hear that, but both of them have got some problems. They just both have problems. And but OU, that start, man, wow. I mean, that was incredible. I mean, incredible. Played so good.
Oklahoma State looked dazed.
Did
they not?
No, you're right. They did look
Sanders
dazed.
looked dazed.
And I'll tell you, I give it up to OSU for not losing 52-3.
You're right.
Because that's what it looks like it was going to be. So at least I'll give it up for them. They didn't quit, but OU just dominated.
Jim, usually we thought this Vegas didn't know what they were doing with this 7-hit point spread.
Yep.
Vegas knows what they do.
I know it. Fat Jack and the smart people, they knew the side. They were right. So anyway, Matt Maher, you want to give us, since I've already got on to you here a little bit, you want to give us some stats real quick?
Yeah. Some wacky numbers in this one. Oklahoma, Dylan Gabriel. If I had told you after that start he'd only complete half of his passes, you'd thought I was crazy. 20 of 40 for Gabriel, 259 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception.
No, wait a minute. Did you say 259?
Yes.
Because I think at halftime, he had 245.
Like that.
I could be wrong.
No,
wow.
it was close to that. Yeah.
Crazy.
It had to be something like that. Eric Gray, 20 carries, 90 yards, and a score. Javonte Barnes, 6 carries, 59 yards. Gabriel had 6 for 30 and a touchdown. Drake Stoops, 6 catches for 89 yards and a touchdown.
And by the way, Drake Stoops early, he made some great plays.
Yes, he did.
I mean, go ahead, Matt.
Marvin Mims, 5 catches for 68 yards. Braden Willis, 3 for 35. Jaleel Farouk had 1 catch for a 30-yard touchdown. Gray caught 3 passes for 30 yards. Gavin Freeman, 1 catch, 4 yards. And Marcus Major, 1 for 3. Defensively, Oklahoma, David Agwebu had 10 tackles to lead the team, had a half a tackle for loss. Oklahoma combined for 6 sacks. Jordan Kelly had 2 of those and 2.5 tackles for loss.
Is that, let me ask you something. Those 6 sacks, is that more than the rest of the Big 12 schedule? What do you think, Al?
It'd be close.
Yes, definitely.
I don't think they've had 6 sacks in the Big 12
doubt.
games.
No doubt.
Yeah, they
They
got after
he
it.
dialed up the pressure.
I can't wait to hear how many passes Sanders threw because I think it was
A
close
lot.
to 60.
Oklahoma had 12 quarterback hurries, 7 pass deflections. Oklahoma did have 13 tackles for loss. That's what's amazing is as poor as Oklahoma's been defensively for the majority of the season, they're one of the top teams in the country in tackles for loss.
Well, they were aggressive, Matty. They were aggressive.
Yeah.
They went after it. That's what you do. And that just makes them look a lot better.
Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
Spencer
Another
Sanders.
interception. Good.
Oh, did he really?
Yep.
You guys are a little bit ahead of me in
Sorry.
this UCLA game. That's all right. That should do it. 126
2
left.
timeouts.
UCLA has 2 timeouts.
Yeah.
One first down would do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Oklahoma State, Spencer Sanders, 36 of 67.
Oh,
for
my God.
381
Wow.
yards, 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions. Sanders was also the leading rusher for the Cowboys, 17 carries for 42 yards. Jaden Nixon had 7 for 37. Braden Johnson had a carry for 17 yards. Ollie Gordon, 7 for 13. DeAndre Jackson had 1 carry for 6 yards. Brennan Presley, 9 catches, 118 yards. Braden Johnson had 7 catches for 109 yards. Nixon caught 7 passes for 50 yards. John Paul Richardson, 5 for 45. Rashad Owens, 2 for 21. Braden Cassidy, 2 for 20. Bryson Green had 1 catch for 11 yards. Jaden Bray, 1 for 9. Quentin Stewart had 1 catch for 2 yards. Defensively, Jason Taylor had 11 tackles. He had a pass deflection. He had a fumble recovery. He had an interception. He was all over the place. Let's see. The Cowboys only had 1 sack. That was Nathan Latu. They had 3 tackles for loss, 6 pass deflections, 5 quarterback hurries. So, team-wise, Oklahoma State, that's another thing. After it was 28-0, if I had told you OSU will end up with 9 more first downs in Oklahoma, just incredible. Oklahoma State, 26 first downs compared to 17 for Oklahoma. Oklahoma State, 7 of 22 on third down. Listen to this. OU, 1 of 14 on third down in this game.
Wow.
Oklahoma State, 0 of 2 on fourth down. Oklahoma, 0 of 1. Total yardage in favor of Oklahoma State, 484 total yards compared to 434. We gave the passing numbers already. As a team, Oklahoma State, 35 carries, 103 yards for less than 3 yards a carry. Oklahoma, 34 carries, 175 yards for a little more than 5 a carry. Not many penalties in this game. Oklahoma State, 3 for 20. Oklahoma, 2 for 23. OSU had 4 turnovers. They were all interceptions. Oklahoma had 2 turnovers, 1 interception, and a fumble lost. Time of possession in favor of Oklahoma State by more than 15 minutes, 37-38 for OSU compared to 22-22 for Oklahoma.
You know, I just got a text. At half, Gabriel had 256 total yards. Okay? Al, you hear me? At half, Gabriel had 256 total yards.
Good half.
At the end, he had 259.
Bad half.
That's what makes us such a great team.
That's why. Yeah, you two should hold hands and sing songs. But that's why both you guys said how psychotic this game was. I mean, the game is just crazy.
Strange.
Yep.
Really, really crazy.
Great day for OU quarterbacks for the most part.
Yeah.
502 and 6 touchdowns, another one.
6 touchdowns, 502. Yeah, 502 yards. We talked about the Heisman. It's going to come down to the kid from Ohio State and Caleb Williams, don't you think?
Yeah, still don't know, because it really does come down to who plays
Next
plays well in the first half or second half of their conference championship game. So you can get yourself in the conversation these last few weeks, but it's all about that game.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, USC going to win, and now they play Notre Dame.
Let's look at the picture now of college football playoffs.
Gosh, it could have been psychotic today. Tennessee now out. Think if Michigan and TCU would have lost. Think about that. Crazy.
So you're going to have Georgia's definitely no matter what happens.
Yep. Because they're going to beat Georgia Tech, obviously.
Then you got the winner of Michigan, Ohio State, definitely in.
Yep.
Then if TCU wins their last couple of games, they're in.
Yep. And then who knows? I mean, could be
USC,
if USC
Clemson,
runs out.
If they beat Notre Dame now, with Notre Dame's reputation that they have since the first part of the season.
Yeah, Notre Dame's won 8 games in a row.
And they beat a good team there. They've got a really good shot to
get in. Yeah, and then they'll have to –
that's easier said than done, though, because they've had their hands full in a lot of games.
Their defense is
They're
bad.
playing with fire.
Yeah, and Notre Dame is playing really well. Where is that game at USC, Notre Dame?
I think
yes, it's at USC.
It's
at USC.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
So,
well, Gideon has his fans all waving to him here and stuff. Yeah. Very nice to see. Gideon is
my fans are a little bit nicer than
you're right. Your fans are a lot nicer than the ones I have. You're exactly right. All right, football feedback, Bud Light Game Time, right here from historic Campus Corner in Norman in the RV General Store Sports Animal Mobile Studios. It's driven by Eskridge Lexus of Oklahoma City. Oklahoma wins 28-13. No, that is not the end of the first quarter score. That's the end of the game. We'll come back. We'll start to talk some more and take some phone calls. Cold night, but we'll be getting after it the rest of the way right here on The Sports and More.
Oklahoma 28, Oklahoma State 13. Myself, Al Eschbach, Jim Traber, Gideon Hamilton. Obviously, Dylan Gabriel.
I don't even remember when the winning drive was. It was forever.
This was the first drive of the game. They go after an incomplete pass. He hits Drake Stoops for 13. It Mims for 7. Eric Gray for 20. Drake Stoops for 33 down to the 2, and then Gabriel ran it in on that fake handoff, and
neither one of them could have scored. The defensive end didn't play either one. He just stood in the middle and let both of them score. So, that was I'm telling you what, man. I've seen some teams start fast. That's about as fast as I've ever seen a team go.
This is a big win for Brent Venables. I remember after the Texas game, we were going, they're not going to. How are they going to win another game, right?
Yep. No, you're right. But we also see how important Gabriel is.
Yeah, it's huge that he was able.
That Texas game, we saw him without him, and Texas played great, but with him, they're pretty daggone good offensively. Now, I don't know how in the world they have 12 straight possessions. They didn't score or do anything. I mean, get first down. It's really just a couple first downs. I don't know how that happened.
Did OSU's defense play any better? That's a legitimate
question. I think they
better.
did. Yeah, I think they did play better. Gideon. I did. I thought they got it.
They definitely played better than they did the first 4 possessions of the game.
No, I
thought
they did.
I don't know if they.
I think they gained confidence after they had a couple stops, and then they had the game in their hands.
I don't think any of us thought it was going to be a total of 41 points in this game.
No, heck no. Not even close.
I mean,
and although you and I, according to that idiot that walked by, you and I picked OU to win, but we picked a cover.
Yeah.
So we were off. No doubt.
Let's get some phone calls going. Let's get it going. You're on WWS, the Sports Animal. Talk to us, please.
Hey, Al, Jim, how you guys doing?
Good.
Good, man. Props to the defense. I mean, my God, dude. I haven't seen the defense play that well since Nebraska, but, I mean, I have to ask, was the play clock broken in the stadium? Because why the hell are we snapping the ball with 30 seconds left in the second half every play?
Huge mistake, man. Al and I, if you would have filmed Al Eschbach and me watching this game, you could have sold it for a bunch of money. We were yelling at each other. I mean, you'd have thought we were fighting. Seriously, right, Al?
Yeah.
We couldn't believe that OSU was punting. We couldn't believe that OU wasn't trying to run the clock. And then they're coming up fast and they're running fast. I'm like, what is going on? It's like a fantasy land that we're living in. Couldn't believe it.
Well, that's on Brent Venables.
I agree.
Totally on Brent.
He has to tell him, hey, slow it down.
Slow it down.
We're
winning. Feel the momentum of the game, because early on that stuff is working.
Right.
And then you go a couple of drives and you try to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, it was wonderful in the beginning, but you didn't need to keep doing it.
Right.
Let's get back to the phones. You're on the Animal. Go ahead.
To me?
Yes. Your lucky day.
Hi, guys. Yeah, it is. A couple of things in the game. Late in the game, OU punched the ball, and they punt it with 18 seconds left on the play clock. I'm pulling my hair out.
Yep.
Why are they punting the ball with that much time left on the play clock? And then on third down, when Gabriel almost threw a pick six, if he takes the sack, they force Oklahoma State to call their last time out, or they run clock. That was just horrible clock management at the end of the game.
We agree.
Can't disagree at all.
Yeah.
And you're right. Was that Colin Oliver who almost intercepted that ball? I can't remember. But
you're
right. He jumped out. Who was it, Matt?
Mason Cobb.
That's right, Mason Cobb. By the way, he's a good football player. You watch him every game, getting closely.
Has his moments. He's one of those guys. I think Scott Wright brought it up that he's their leading tackler. He's also their leader in missed tackles.
That's like
Stutzman.
And that's right, Stutzman and Guebu. Yeah.
Just kind of buckle down, and then if Kendall Daniels gets a little bit more comfortable in the system, he's going to be a really good player for them.
Great athlete.
Yeah.
Great
but
athlete.
now you have to. I mean, this is always after next week, and then you go into the bowl season. But before that, it's kind of a nervous time if you've got a favorite defensive player, or there is somebody that you think is going to be kind of a cornerstone of the defense. You have to worry about, are they going to stick around?
The dreaded portal. Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah. Everybody's got to worry about it.
By the way, I want to give people a report. We've only seen one person take away in the stretcher thus far tonight. It's early, though.
Yeah.
Okay? Just one.
What's the over-under on
5?
Yeah. We usually knock them out late. They're probably usually late. Usually they're rolling.
Right.
They start rolling by.
Yeah.
They definitely start rolling by.
You need to be around here about 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, absolutely. They'll be flying up and down the hallways.
Let's get back to the phone. You're on the animal. Go ahead.
Is this me?
Yes, it is.
Hey, man, that was a great win. OU got it done. We're bowl eligible. I can't believe it. But I want to talk about TCU, the TCU win. Dude, that was the most – in the fourth quarter, that was the worst clock management, game management I've ever seen. I can't believe they won that game. Can you guys talk about that? I mean –
yeah, we talked about it on the pregame show. We did, yeah. How in the world – why in the world they ran the ball? But Al brings up a great point. On third down, he had a guy open, and he could have thrown it to him. But listen, we're seeing every single weekend, we're seeing bad clock management, and we're seeing it in the NFL, too.
Well, let's talk about great clock management by Sonny Dykes.
Oh, that was amazing.
And a little bit different than what the Green Bay that the Dallas Cowboys did a year ago when Dak Prescott ran it on and they ran out of time.
Yeah, please don't ever put Mike McCarthy's name in the category with anybody, any coach, when it comes to clock management, because he is about the worst.
So, Sonny Dykes, I mean, right now he's National Coach of the Year. It's no one's close, right?
No one's close.
Riley's close.
I wonder. Yeah, Lincoln Riley done an unbelievable
Great
job.
turnaround. If he wins 2 more, he'd be right there. But if Dykes is undefeated and they win the Big 12 championship game, that's really, really tough.
Well, that's going to be a great
him.
game, Kansas State and TCU, isn't it?
Little revenge for Kansas State.
Yeah.
TCU's probably going to be up by 4 touchdowns.
But Kansas State was up by 4 touchdowns and lost to him the first time.
I know. They'll bring him to do it again.
Do it backwards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no. Kansas State's going to be up by 3 or 4
Oh,
scores.
okay. I thought, the other
still
way.
lose.
Yeah. No, you're right. TCU's amazing in the second
They
half.
are amazing. They are
really
simply amazing the way they come back.
Now, I wonder if how badly hurt these dudes are. Their wide receivers and their running back.
Yeah.
Because the Quentin Johnson kid is he's a first or second round pick.
Think, guys, preseason poll. Baylor pick 1, OU 2, OSU 3. All disappointments.
You're right. You're exactly right. And OSU, they got to beat West Virginia. Now, West Virginia today was just horrible, They got 41 points in the first half.
Yeah.
Well, and Brown will probably get fired the next day.
Yeah, you're right. You're probably
right. They got a new athletic director?
I would hope so. I mean, at this point, you don't want to see somebody lose their job, but
I do.
I don't know why. I don't know why you would keep him around.
No.
Hey, can you guys explain to me why Bo Nix is so much better when he went to Oregon than he was back in Auburn?
Bill Knight's money.
No, you know what? I'm wondering, is it because of the legacy thing? Like he felt pressure because of his dad or something? I don't know.
I definitely think that's true. Yeah.
You think that could be
true?
And
I think Auburn fans are idiots.
Well, that's a good point. Yeah. The pressure on him.
Yeah. I mean, the pressure on there is.
He's playing great right now against Utah. Really, really good.
Look at it, as we look what happened. Clemson's still in the picture to get into this.
I was telling Al, Clemson has got a chance. They really do.
Still need a couple of things to go their way in front of them, but they could work their way up.
If TCU loses and they run out, they'll be in. You agree?
As a 1-loss conference champion, they would need USC to lose 2.
Or just 1?
No, they would need them to
get
lose
their
also.
second loss. Yeah. Oh, 2.
Yeah,
okay, 2.
Okay.
Also.
Yeah. But it's not that far fetched to see that happening. And then you have to avoid. LSU actually winning. The conference
because Georgia's going to get in.
That's another one. Yeah.
Yeah. Georgia's in. If they beat Georgia Tech, who is horrible. By the way, Georgia Tech beat who they beat today. North Carolina.
Beat North Carolina.
Hey, you and I are talking good about North Carolina, and they fall apart today. They were up 17-0 and gave up 21 to lose it.
Wow.
That's bad loss for Mac Brown because Georgia Tech stinks.
Yeah, they're bad.
Yep.
Let's get back to the phones. You're on the animal. Go ahead.
Hey, guys. It's me.
Yes.
How's it going?
Good. How you doing?
What do you ask?
Oh, first off, Jim, this is your Montana boy here, driving all day. Had to watch the game on my phone.
Very nice.
Start out with the positives here. Woody Washington, Drake Stoops, hell of a game, both of them. Are we not so sure that Davis Bevel and Dylan Gabriel didn't switch jerseys halfway through that first quarter? That was the worst quarterback performance I've seen since that Texas game. That was pathetic.
I don't know what happened. I don't know what to tell you. I thought that what I believe is I think they lost concentration. I really do. I think you're up 28-0. Everybody's happy. Everything's good.
And they could have put that away. And the drop passes in that second quarter were just
my God.
right
and that has to do with concentration.
Absolutely, Jim. Absolutely.
You know? I mean, yeah. How about that one ball to Farouk on the sideline? I mean, it's just literally right there. I don't know. And then Gabriel threw some bad balls too.
Yep,
so it was like Al started it off. He couldn't even talk, which is impossible for Al. And he was right. The game was mind-boggling. Never seen like it.
Strange. Remember that song, The Strange, Strange World, Mr. Jack?
Oh, my gosh. Please don't do that.
Our favorite COVID song.
When you said that, I was thinking about people are strange when
the
you're
Doors.
strange.
Imagine Jim Morrison calling people strange.
I think they wrote that song about you, Al. I think that's about you.
Let's get back to the phones. You're on the animal. Go ahead.
Hey, is it me?
Yeah.
Hey, fast forward to the end of the year. Between Jim, Al, Gideon, what do you do, your first step as an OSU administrator or coach? What do you do to get this team right on track? I mean, I'm sick of Gundy getting his tail between his legs in Bedlam.
Yeah, I don't know. Ma'am, get her out of here right now. Get out of here. Get out of here, ma'am. Go. I got to tell you something. Hey, my man, where's the dude? Where's my man? Will you get her out of here, please? Yeah, you. I don't care who your brother is. Go away, okay?
Go away, little girl.
There you go. That's exactly right. Thank you.
Steve Lawrence.
What was the what were we talking about? Oh, OSU. I don't know, Gideon. You're the man who covers OSU all week. You do a great job every week. I know you don't agree with me 100% when I started off this show about Mike Gundy, but something is wrong, right? When they play OU, am I correct?
Oh, it's wrong in some other big games also. I mean, you can point to a lot of really competitive games where he won't put his foot on the gas, and it's really, really tough at the end of the season to evaluate a team that is winning so many games and say, hey, what can you do to make things a little bit better? Because overall, his track record is phenomenal. It's just really, really difficult to pinpoint, like, okay, what is going wrong in these games just to keep them out of the conversation of just getting above and actually being a conference champion. And I'm not sure I know the answer to that. And I'm not sure that being more aggressive in these games, especially when you have a quarterback that turns the ball over in as many big spots as this guy does, I don't know what that looks like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. Al, what are your thoughts?
Well, I said to Jim, get aggressive. You win the touring course.
Yeah.
Go take the ball, go score in this OU defense. It's terrible.
I agree with that. I really do. I mean, your defense has been struggling like crazy. Why do you want to put them on the field?
Yeah.
Basically, what Mike Gundy said is, we're going to put our worst side on and your best side to start the game. Does that make sense, Gideon?
No.
I mean, I don't know why. Al said it at the beginning of the game. I wasn't looking, and when he said that, I said, you know what? You're right, Al. Here it is again, right away. He's not being aggressive.
But they're not running it up the gut. I mean, the first quarter, they're throwing the ball downfield, and they're just throwing the ball to the wrong team.
Because they can't run.
Timeout. Yeah, that's true.
I will say that the Nixon kid, he looks like he's a pretty good player. They obviously don't like Ollie Gordon for some reason. So,
by the way, Matt, any interesting texts?
Well, we can check that. 62582, Trade Pro Seat and Air Text Nation line. Third down story is worse than just this game shows for OU. They've converted 2 of their last 25 third downs.
Consistent.
Somebody asked me that. We were over with fellows. Somebody asked me about why they're so bad on third down. I can't tell you. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know what that is.
They just don't have that kind
great
of
quarterback
safety valve. 3rd and 5, 3rd and 7. Mark Andrews.
But Willis is that. I thought Willis was that.
They didn't use him. You're right. You're
Willis.
right.
What did Willis do today? Did he catch any balls?
No.
He fumbled. I know on that one play. What do you have, Matt? I
I think
can't
that
remember.
was his only catch.
Was it like 1 for 4 or something?
Yeah, see, that shouldn't happen.
No, you're right. You're right. Especially on third down.
Yeah.
I've told Al for years.
Willis caught 3 for 35.
Okay, I must have missed a couple of them.
Me
then.
too.
But I told Al for years.
I guarantee they were in the first half.
You're right. The greatest thing, the greatest thing for a quarterback is to have a tight end in the middle of the field that you can go to. It's a wonderful feeling.
Or just a reliable slot.
Yeah.
And it's, seems like there's a couple of those guys. Same thing for Oklahoma State too. It just doesn't work out. Presley, Richardson. Yeah.
Presley is a little tiny guy,
Presley
but he is really
though.
good.
He's really good. He's really good.
Yeah, he is really good.
I like him a lot. Let's get back to the telephones. You're on the WSS Sports Animal. Go ahead. You're on the Animal.
Good.
Yeah? Is it me?
Yes.
Oh, what's up, guys?
What's up?
So, listen, I've noticed Sanders was kind of gassed there in the third quarter. Do you think he was not 100% tonight?
Sanders?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I always say the same thing about this. If you're on the field, then you can play. I mean, he's playing. Obviously he's not 100%, but the dude made a lot of plays and he kept playing. So
60 sometimes.
I'm not saying I'm not making any excuse, Sal. I promise you. You know that.
And ran
17 times. So he's ending the possession. Is that right? Is 84 times?
84
tonight?
times.
That's him.
You talk about that's a usage rate, isn't it? For basketball. That's like Doncic, right? 84 times.
That is
incredible.
Remarkable. That is absolutely
and he
remarkable.
listen, Tim, let me tell you something. He's a tough dude, man.
Oh, yeah.
He is a tough dude. So I don't know how badly he was hurt. I knew that he threw the ball the other team 4 times.
Yeah.
But as Gideon says in big games, that's just
there's something about him in these games. And it's man, it's unusually bad. I mean, it's not like somebody kind of gets rattled a little bit. I mean, it's like, he could have thrown 8 interceptions.
No,
tonight.
you're right. Gideon, I can't. You're right on the money. I can't argue with you. If you had to give him your next paycheck, you think he comes back or not come back next year?
Boy, that's tough. After everything he's been through, I don't know. He might come back and play college football again. I don't know if it would be here. But I don't have a good read on that. I haven't heard anything.
I'll tell you this. It's going to be really interesting because he can say one or two things. He can say, okay, I don't like the way the season ended. I want to come back. Or he can say, I don't want to get hurt again. I want to go take my chances to go, You know what I'm saying?
He's been in college 5 years.
Yeah. And for people that are like OU fans listening to this, he still does have COVID
that
year.
COVID year.
They feels like he's one of those guys that have been playing here for like 8 years or something like that. But he's got one more.
He's a solid football player. No
Tough
doubt.
kid. Let's get back.
Break.
Yeah, we'll take a break. Football feedback, Bud Light Game Time. Right here live from Historic Campus Corner in Norman, RV General Store, Sports Animal Mobile Studios, driven by Eskridge Lexus of Oklahoma City. OU wins 28-13. We will talk a lot more with you right here on the leader in sports, The Animal.
Show. Sponsored by Park Ridge Medical Clinic, dedicated to providing breakthrough remedies, treating the root cause of ED to men in the greater Oklahoma City area.
You're up.
And we're back. So Al Eschbach, Jim Traber, Gideon Hamilton, Oklahoma 28, Oklahoma State 13. Who rose to the occasion, guys? I'm going to say the OU defense. What's the slowest total Oklahoma State scored this year, right?
No, they got beat 48-0.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Kansas State.
Yeah.
But Al, they did a good job. They did a really good
13
job.
points.
And in the second half, when they needed, they bent some, but they didn't really break. Gave up a touchdown and couple field goals and
4 turnovers, 6 sacks.
Yeah.
I mean, they played really well.
Am I right on that, Matt? Is that more sacks in one game than they had the rest of the Big 12 combined?
It is definitely.
It has to be.
I think they may have had 3.
I was going to say 3. Yeah.
Coming in.
Twice as many.
Yeah, I think it may be twice as many.
I'll tell you what, OSU, Gideon's got to get about 3 dudes in the portal that can play offensive line.
Yeah.
You agree?
Yeah, it's been an issue for years now. And I guess that's easier said than done because they would have done it if they could this year. But that it's definitely something that needs to happen, especially if there's turnover at the quarterback position.
Well, the key for Oklahoma State and OU is going to be the portal coming up. First of all, not losing key players first, and then who are you bringing in from the portal?
And Mike Gundy said the other day in his press conference that he don't really want to use, doesn't like it. Al brought up a great point. They brought in Jalen Warren. What a great player he was.
Sure.
So you could go find some people. They need some offensive linemen for sure. Definitely.
How much, when you look at the end of the season, whatever they finish up, let's say they both finish 7-5 or whatever it is, and you're assessing what happened this year. Of course, a lot of it comes down to coaching or ineffective playing or whatever. What percentage would you put on what happened before the season with the portal for both teams? The defensive players that OSU lost, and then, of course, everybody that left OU.
Well, you see the kid down at LSU making play after play at defensive back?
Yeah, you see number 13 at USC play?
Yeah.
You see, by the way, do you see the other defensive kid at Ohio State making plays from OSU?
Christian Holmes,
you see Mario Williams making catches for USC? There you go. There's 4 players, 2 each, that really, really hurt them.
Yep.
By the way, by my count, coming into today in Big 12 play, Oklahoma had 6 sacks.
Oh, really?
Really?
Okay, so they tied it in one game. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Matt. I would have thought less, but very good.
Well, let's get back to the phones. You're on the animal. Go ahead.
Let's hear it. Hey, guys. Thanks for being out here tonight. I got a question and a comment for you. On the punt on like the 4th and 25 or 4th and 26, isn't it a double-edged sword that if you don't get that, you're right there on like the 20 and then they score and the game's over anyway versus getting it back having a chance to get a couple quick touchdowns?
When you're down 2 touchdowns and there's less than 3 minutes in the game, if it's 4th and 80, you go for it. I don't care. Run the daggone tip drill. Throw it way down the field and put 5 dudes. You can't punt the ball when you're down 2 scores. You can't do it. And I understand what you're saying, because you're right. If they don't get it, then you're in big trouble. But if you punt it, you're in big trouble too.
Game's over.
Yep.
So you seen a 4th and 80, Gideon?
I don't think I've ever seen that one.
Listen to this. I saw a 4th and 62 one.
Not a 4th and 80 though.
And they picked it up?
No. No, they didn't go for it though. So there you go. It's a solid move not to go for
it. Let's. My first glass of wine is coming here soon. An hour or so.
Yeah, not too soon.
Let's get back to the phones. You're on the air. You're on the animal. Go ahead.
Hey guys, how y'all doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Hey, I got a 2-part question. One has to deal with Spencer Sanders. The other one has to deal with the TCU Baylor game. And I know this is a post-game show, so I'm sorry for my
You're good.
with that.
You're good.
You're okay.
So Spencer Sanders, you kind of stole my thunder talking about his eligibility to the NFL. But so my first question, I'll take both of these off the air. My first question is, as an Oklahoma State fan, I've been up and down with Spencer Sanders, but as an Oklahoma State fan, do we want to see him come back as a 6-year senior, or do we just want to move on with the future and see
Absolutely,
what happens?
you want him back. Definitely.
My second question, at the end of the TCU Baylor game, when TCU did that scramble drill and subbed in their field goal team, why didn't Dave Aranda just sub in his whole defense to kill the clock?
That is a great point.
Because there's a rule. So I wondered the same thing, Charles, and I appreciate your call. So Larry Reese, the longtime public address announcer at Oklahoma State, he tweeted out a picture of the rule book, and I'll go back and find it, but basically that does not apply in an obvious field goal kicking situation. Because I wondered the same thing. Like, if they sub, you have the right to sub. And, they can, lollygag out there.
But in that situation, it's not true anymore, is what you're saying.
In that situation, it's either the umpire or the center judge or whatever they call it does not stand over the ball and allow the other team to sub. When it's an obvious field goal kicking situation.
Okay. Well, that's a great question. A great question.
I've been wondering it. I mean, me and other people have been wondering it all day, and I saw Larry tweet that out. I'll go back and find that. But
all right,
that's
Matt.
why.
Thank him for the tweet.
I did not know.
I don't do Twitter.
I did not know.
I thought about that in the immediate aftermath, if that applied, but I guess that's just kind of within the spirit of the game.
Which, by the way, it seems like that would be the right rule.
Yeah, that seems common sense.
Yeah. It seems like it'd be the right.
I mean, it's the same thing. Why a holder can have his knee on the ground.
Right. Exactly.
Right. Yeah. No. That's good stuff, Matt Meyer. Very nicely done. I would have been going. Yeah, you're right. They should have done that. So
let's get back.
I already yelled at Iran today. I don't need to yell anymore. So
you've been yelling at a lot of people today.
I know. I have.
He yelled at Gundy. He yelled at a guy. He said, "Punk, you ready to fight him?"
Yeah. He called me a bad name.
Yeah. You've been yelling a lot. Okay.
Absolutely. I'm a psycho. You know that.
Let's get back to the telephones. You're on the animal. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yes.
Hey, thanks for taking my phone call. Al, first time I've ever talked to you. Me and Jim's met several times. Hey, Jim, I'm actually a buddy of Skinny's out here in western Oklahoma.
I know who you are, brother.
All right. So my question is now, I'm an OSU guy, 100%, but my question is I am, and Jim, this is probably to you more than Al, but the non-expression from Gundy through a whole game is literally driving me nuts.
Yeah.
Just the blank look on his face and there's no excitement either way, whether it's good or bad.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what you think about that.
Well, this is an interesting call. I've talked about this before. Dave Aranda acts like he's like at a funeral. So I don't.
And Matt Campbell, he's at a prize fight.
Yeah,
in a prize fight.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. I'm not going to rip him for that. I don't like that he stands all the way down at one end, and that bothers me a little bit. But look, the dude is the best coach in the history of the school. That's what he is. But the Bedlam game, and Gideon brought up big games in general, he just doesn't go for it. And I don't understand why. When he was an offensive coordinator, he went for it. Gideon, am I right?
Right. That's correct.
So I don't know what happens to him in these games. I don't know.
Let's get back to
here's this rule. And I'm assuming this is correct. And again, this is, on Twitter. Okay, so let me I'll read the scenario. Pass play on third down ends in bounds, short of the line to gain, game clock showing 10 seconds. Facing fourth down and 3, Team A immediately hurries its field goal team onto the field. Ruling, Team B should reasonably expect that Team A will attempt a field goal in this situation, should have its field goal defense unit ready. The umpire will not stand over the ball, as there should be no issue of the defense being uncertain about the next play.
Okay.
So, assuming this is correct, there's the rule.
Solid. Okay. Thank you, Matt. Very, very nicely done.
Just a great play by Sonny Dykes. But you know what? It's a great play by the field goal kicker to put it through.
Sure.
Yeah.
And let me tell you another. Yeah. It's a great thing. That's right. Everybody, because someone can move a little bit, and then it's 5 yards back, and it's impressive. I loved it after the game, Gideon. Did you see his interview?
No, I didn't see
the sideline person said, "Boy, it looked really, really hectic," and he goes, "It wasn't hectic. It was a lot. It wasn't hectic at all. We do that every Thursday. We practice that every Thursday." I mean, it was just like matter of fact. Just made the biggest kick in the history of TCU.
Anything.
What'd you say, Matt?
Any high school team worth anything practices that every single week.
Right, but do they get it, though? Does it work?
Time. Well, no, I know that, but I'm saying, everybody works on that. So, I know it looks like chaos, but if a team is well coached, they know what to do there.
Yep.
But like Al said, you got to go make the kick.
Yeah.
That's the deal.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's get back to the phones. You're on the animal. Go ahead.
Hello.
Yes.
What's up?
Hey, it's Coach T. How are you guys?
Good. Coach.
Hey. I had a couple things, but I wanted to make a comment on the punt real quick. Jim, I think the only caveat in making that decision might be the way the game was flowing at the time, because at the time the OU offense was doing nothing. So
Coach
I'm
T,
thinking the punt.
Coach T, I love you, brother, and I know you're a huge OSU fan. There is no caveat, none, zero. I don't care what's happening. If you're 2 scores down and there's 2.5 minutes left in the game, you do not punt the ball wherever it is or whatever's happening. I don't care if OSU has scored 5 straight touchdowns. You don't do it. And I know you're a huge OSU fan. I'm just telling you, you don't do it.
Fair enough. We just kind of have to somewhat agree to disagree on that. But that's okay.
All right.
Yeah, that's okay. Hey, now the other comment I had to make, and we all know this has been a problem and continues to be a problem. This was a perfect storm for the OU defense, and I say that because their weakness was the run game, and OSU has no run game. And so it allowed OU to do some different things defensively in the defensive backfield, and I think that caused Spencer Sanders a lot of problems early on as far as finding a spot to throw. But my point, again, going back to the offensive line play at OSU, it was just abysmal. I mean, I love Charlie Dickey, and I'm not sure if it's just a talent thing. I know the last couple of years OSU has recruited the guys who were considered to be the top offensive linemen out of the JUCO the last 2 years. The one kid's starting for him now at left tackle. But I really don't know what the answer is, but that was just killing me. The line,
gotta get better.
Defensive line is not very good.
No, you got to get better. Coach T, you're right on the money. And you know what? The other game, Al, same thing happened with Iowa State, right? Iowa State can't run the ball, and OU played really well defensively.
That's right.
Same with OSU. They cannot run the ball at all. Right, Gideon? They got to figure it out somehow, Gideon.
Yeah, Richardson not being in there, although I don't know how much of a difference that would have made. Maybe a little bit. Definitely not enough to win the game. But no, they've got to recruit better at both of those positions.
Let's get back to the phones. You're on the animal. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yes.
Hey, how are you guys?
Good.
Good.
Hey, so I want to just give up the props to the Oklahoma defense because they were out there quite a bit throughout that game, and we didn't get to see a lot of the mistakes they were making earlier in the season. But, man, it seems like Jeff Levy is inept to call the right offensive plays when we need to. It's like put the foot down to the pedal and keep the gas going. I don't know what the answer is. Do you guys know why he just kind of stops calling the plays aggressively?
I think you go a little bit too far and say he's inept to call the right play. I think the dude knows. I just think that
he was way too aggressive in the second half.
Yeah, listen, offensive coaches a lot of times do not think about a lot except going to score, right, Al? Mike Leach was this way.
And Bob went to him, run the ball.
Stop throwing.
Brent got to go to Jeff. Run the ball. Let's run clock.
Yeah, I think Jeff Levy is a really good offensive coordinator. But I believe that he just keeps on firing it and not really realizing what's going on around him a little bit. So I don't know. I don't think he's inept at all.
No, I think he's a good offensive coordinator. I mean,
let me ask you a question, Gideon. The offense and defensive coordinators for OSU, how would you grade them this year?
Well, that's rough.
Because of injuries and stuff, I understand.
Yeah, it's really difficult because of the hand that they got dealt before the season with all those guys leaving. But there's some talent there. I think OSU fans primarily would give Mason a really, really low grade just because they have all these talented pass rushers. Now, of course, Lacey and Ford got hurt. And those are two big ones, but they just didn't.
And Colin Oliver barely plays.
Yeah, it didn't bring pressure a lot for enough fans liking. And, it's really tough when you lose one of the best defensive players in your school's history, and Malcolm Rodriguez, who just kind of does everything. Right. But just from a stylistic and a strategic standpoint, I think they would give Mason a really low grade, and then Dunn at the middle of the season. Again, you're without Sanders. Sanders is hurt. He's limited, so it's tough to just say, hey, this is all on them. But it kind of there were some problematic areas from a season ago with him that kind of showed up again this year.
Yeah, no, I think that's well said.
You can break when you're ready.
Football feedback, Bud Light Game Time, live from historic Campus Corner in Norman in the RV General Store Sports Animal Mobile Studios, driven by Eskridge Lexus of Oklahoma City. Mr. Al Eschbach, Mr. Gideon Hamilton, and myself. Oklahoma wins 28-13. More phone calls, 405-900-9957. That's our Lucky Star line. Stay with us on These Sports and more.
we're back. What's up, Eschbach, Traber, Gideon, Hamilton, Oklahoma 28, Oklahoma State 13 in Bedlam tonight. Who went the Eskridge mile? And thanks to Gideon, we're going to do something we've never done before. We're going to do a punter, Michael Turk. Right?
He was more active than anybody.
Gosh,
Second quarter
what
on.
did he punt today? Like 9, 10 times?
And then one time he went to the end zone at the 60-yard. You go, I'm sorry.
Well,
Yeah,
the other one,
I'm sorry.
the other one where it went to the 5, bounced at the 1, and then came back.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
Hey, I told Al, I think he might get drafted, like in the 5th or 6th round.
Yeah, I was thinking 6th or 7th round. He's really good.
He's a weapon.
Yes, he's a weapon.
God,
well, you know, it was a great play. It didn't do much, but on the kickoff for OU received, got the ball, then they lateraled the back. He runs.
Oh, it was a great
and then
play.
he goes over to Mims.
Yeah. And what did I do to you? I said, really, Ed? Yeah, okay. Brent Venables is doing that?
Yeah.
How about the other side doing something like that? So, anyway, good stuff.
You're a beast.
Okay. Thank you, my man. Appreciate it.
I
Thank you,
wanted
brother.
to say hello to you, buddy.
He called me. He said I was a beast.
Yeah.
That's a good thing, Jim.
When I was young, I had a woman call me a beast. That's not good.
No, that used to be a bad thing. It's good. It's a good
oh,
thing
it's
now.
good now?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
He's
I'm
a
an old
beast.
man.
He's a
Thank you, I'm
beast.
a beast. Yeah, we got. Yeah, what do we got? We got a young man. How you doing, big fella? Good to see you.
Thank you.
All right.
He's a beast, though.
You're a little beast. You're a midget beast. And
I was gonna say I've always thought Al was a really big beast.
No, he's a small beast. He's a midget beast.
Well, in stature, but not in like
no, you're
heart
right.
and attitude.
No, that's a good point.
When
You're
you're
right.
king of the midgets, that's saying a lot,
That is
man.
powerful.
That's a great title.
Yes, it is.
Let's get back to the phone.
Who named you? Who named you that?
You did.
Thank you.
Yes. I wanted to be king. You said, then you're king of the midgets.
I love that.
Right?
Beautiful.
Politically
Perfect.
incorrect, though.
I still have people say, why do you say that? You're not supposed to call them midgets. I said, Al says he's fine with that.
Yes, I like it. It's a compliment.
I agree.
Let's get back to the phone. You're on the animal. Go ahead.
Hey, guys, it's me.
Yes.
Yep. Hey, as an OU grad, I was watching the game tonight with an OSU buddy of mine, and he mentioned a really good point about kind of Oklahoma State injured quarterbacks. Going back to 2009, he kind of just said it reminded him of the 2009 game with Zach Robinson when they had Brandon Whedon on the bench.
Right.
And so we kind of got to talking about it, and we went back. 2009, they had Zach Robinson, and then 2012, Clint Shelf was their third string. 2014, Rudolph was their second string. 2015, it kind of switched places where J.D.B. Walsh was their backup. And so it went on and on. And, I mean, Drew Brown in 2019 was the starter. Illingsworth came in for Spencer Sanders. Bottom line is I wish we had a Bedlam where everyone was healthy. And when we do, it's a fantastic game. But when it's games like this with Spencer Sanders with an injured arm, it's just
you threw 67 times. Come on,
Yeah,
an
you
injured arm.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I don't know if the injury is really any part of this game.
60 sometimes.
Gideon, do you think it was a big part of this game?
Wow.
No, because of how much they ran him.
Exactly.
If he was hurt,
They
they weren't
protect
gonna,
him.
Yeah, they weren't going to put him in that
Yeah,
position.
17 rushes, is that what it was?
Yeah.
17?
That more than the throwing to me told
I
me
do
that
agree.
he was getting closer.
I do agree. When both teams are healthy, they've had some unbelievable games.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
I mean, they
but-
both had great quarterbacks.
Hey, listen, Spencer Sanders threw 4 interceptions today. I do not believe that it was because he had a bad arm. That's me. Is that fair?
I'm right there with you.
Okay.
I agree
Because
with
he's
you a
done it-
$1,000,000%.
He's done it when he had a good arm.
Yeah.
Right? All you got to do is go back and look at the Big 12 championship game, Al. Right? Same thing.
Absolutely. Let's get back to the phones. You're on the animal.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Why do you think Levy's gotten away from running the Wildcat?
It's a great point. Yeah, I have no idea why he didn't. That it's been very effective this year. That's a good question.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. I think they did it because they were so bad at quarterback. Now they think they're good at quarterback.
How much did they implement it after
They did.
Texas?
You used
Did
it. They
do
used
it?
it. Yeah,
bit.
absolutely.
Okay, okay.
3 times a game. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, they didn't run it today. I think they'd rather go 3 and out.
I wouldn't have mind seeing that in the third quarter. I mean, after
So
you
that the
punted-
clock would go faster?
Well, that and I mean, you punted the ball 4 or 5 drives in a row.
Yeah, try something different.
Sure.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. I wonder if someone will ask Levy.
Especially on those short yardage situations.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, that's a great play.
No, you're right. Especially with Willis doing it, you know.
Let's get back to the phone. Join the animal. Go ahead.
Is that me, guys?
Yes, it is.
Hello. Enjoying the show. 3 points I want to make. First one is interesting. The opening remarks Jim had about Gundy. I was thinking the same thing about Levy. I was pulling my hair out second half clock management. I was thinking, you got to run the ball, Jeff. What are you doing?
Hey, listen. Hey, hold on. Don't hang up on him, Matt. Let me just read you a quote from Brent Venables real quick. It says, get out of here. What is wrong? My hands are like frozen.
Why you put gloves on then?
I do have gloves on.
Well, why? No, you
can't scroll
Brent,
without the
Brent
gloves.
Venables said he wasn't happy at all with the Sooners' clock management, especially late in the game. Put plenty of pressure on the defense and got bailed out by the defense. Well, with all due respect, Brent, you're the one that can do that.
That's on you.
Yeah.
It's totally 100% on him.
So we're with you, caller. So keep going. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay. Sure. No problem. Good to back that up, my thought there. Point number two, if it probably wasn't for our punter and the kicking game, we might have lost that game. He may have been the MVP of the game for the Sooners today, in spite of the way the first quarter.
That's a good point. Second half, he was definitely the best player for him. Yeah.
I mean, they kept him pinned down and had to have long drives and so forth. So, and then the third point, I was thought of this watching. I was watching the USC UCLA game tonight, and I was thinking, if Notre Dame beats USC next week, that's 2 losses for USC. I was wondering if Caleb Williams happened to be the OU quarterback this year, if OU would have more than 3 losses. I want to throw that out to let y'all think about that.
Yeah,
because I think they'd have about the same record.
It's hard to
say. Thanks,
yeah,
guys.
thank you. It's really hard to say because they lost to Texas.
They win a close. They would have won those close
You
games.
instinctively say they beat Baylor and they beat West Virginia. The games that are close.
Yeah.
Now we don't know that.
Right.
There's no way.
knows.
There's no way to know. But
Caleb's so much better than Gabriel.
No, he is. He is. I mean,
He's amazing.
They don't beat Texas and they don't beat TCU.
No.
For sure.
Right.
But they would have a better chance. I mean, listen, he is a
he's amazing.
He threw for 502 yards today. The guy's a great player. There's no doubt about it. No doubt.
Let us get back to the telephones. You're on the animal. A lot of inebriated people here tonight. Very surprising.
Yes, sir.
You're on the animal. Go ahead.
Oh, is this me?
Yes, it's you.
Okay. Hey, we're talking about Michael Turk. Do you all realize he proposed to Grace Lyons after the game?
He did what? What'd you say?
He proposed.
Oh, he proposed to his girlfriend?
Who did?
Michael Turk.
Grace Lyons, the softball player.
Oh, is that who he's? Oh, okay, Grace Lyons.
Yeah.
Very nice. All right.
What'd
Very
she
good.
say?
Well, yeah. Yes
Did
or
she
no?
say yes?
Say no? Screw you?
Yeah, I think she said yeah.
Well, good.
After that one punt down
Yeah.
there in Tech 5.
She said the answer is yes now that I saw that punt.
Yeah, exactly.
I like it, my man.
That's
Thanks.
very cool.
He's going 5th round, I think. So I don't know.
Very good, man. Thanks. Thank you very much. Good for him. Hope they have a wonderful life together. She's a great player, by the way.
Yeah, she is.
Good softball player.
Let's get back to the telephone. You're on the animal. Go ahead.
We're going to take a break.
Okay, take a break.
Real quick. I know
Good.
you're fired up.
Go.
You're getting after. By the way, 405-900-9957 if you'd like to get in and talk to us. Maybe Matt will read some of the text messages. I'm sure some of those are exciting. This is football feedback, but like game time live from you people got to watch Al. They're like Beavis and Butthead over here. When I'm talking, they're going. It's literally, I mean, it's unbelievable. The two of them just laughing.
You amuse us.
Yeah, okay. I'm not even doing anything. I'm trying to read.
You got your gloves back on?
I do have my gloves back on. Yes.
I don't care if I got scrolls or anything. I'm not going. I'm not taking my gloves off.
You know why?
I don't care.
Why is it then whenever we do a show that gets towards midnight that you go off your rocker? Why is that, Al? Because you need a glass of wine.
I have a dream of vino.
Dream of vino. That should be like a song.
Dream of vino.
I dream of vino.
There was a song, Bottle of Wine by the Fireballs.
Of course, you probably knew. I know you knew that. Anyway, we're on Campus Corner here, RV General Store, Sports Animal Mobile Studio, driven by Eskridge Lexus of Oklahoma City. We're going to be taking phone calls for a while longer, so give us a call. OU wins 28-13. This is the home of the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Sports Edge.
Myself, Al Eschbach, Jim Traber, Gideon Hamilton, Miller, and his historic campus corner in Norman, Oklahoma 28, Oklahoma State 13. Impact play. I'm not going to give it to Impact. I'm going to give it to Brent Venables for his defense and the way he got pressure today, where they've been a horrific pressure team. He dialed up a lot of different things tonight.
Yeah. And as we talked about earlier, OSU's offensive line isn't very good, and they took advantage of it. And that's what you got to do, right, Gideon? When another team has a part of their team that's not very good, you got to try to take advantage of it, right?
Sure.
You know, OSU could not take advantage of their defensive line running the football.
Isn't it amazing at one time what OU was 6th in the country, what OSU was 6th in the country at one time this year?
Yeah, they got up to, I think maybe they were 8 when they played TCU, something like that. Yeah, but both top 10 teams.
Yeah.
Yep.
Might end up in the same spot, but a lot different than the way it started.
Yeah. I wonder. I don't even know I don't know anything about the bowl games. I saw one person message me on Instagram said that OU and South Carolina could play each other.
It's gotta be cold.
Oh,
I know
man,
they
that would
got
be
some
fun.
Some of the girls down here, they wear no clothes. It's like, look at that. Unbelievable. It's freezing outside.
Yeah, I'd ask her if she wanted my coat, but no way I'm giving my coat away.
No, you'd be way too chivalrous
Be really
to do that.
stupid to do something like that.
Okay, that's a better word.
You ever give your coat to a girl cold?
I don't think I ever have.
I know Jim hasn't.
Boy.
You ever put your coat down on a puddle so a girl could walk on it?
That's
Are you
really
nuts?
good.
Are you nuts?
I may throw it down so I can walk through the
Yeah,
puddle,
right.
not anybody
Yeah,
else.
let me rip your coat off while you got the puddle.
OU in South Carolina, that would be a fun one because of the association. Beamer.
You're exactly right. That'd be interesting, huh?
Yeah. Boy, Rattler had a great game tonight.
Yes, he did. 6 touchdowns. Back in the Heisman race.
Let's get back to the telephones. You're on the Animal. Go ahead.
Yes.
Go right ahead.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I apologize.
Sorry.
So you guys were talking about Spencer Sanders and his eligibility and his being able to come back next season. What do you think the odds are that he would come back but enter the portal? Do you think he would think about exploring going somewhere else, or do you think he would stay at OSU?
Well, you know what? Because Gideon hinted at that. He doesn't. He said you said you don't know anything, but you gave a little hint at that. Gideon.
Well, I mean, he's been here for so long, and you have seen that with other guys that kind of were mentioned in the same breath as the program who have been there forever, and you think, well, there's no way, and it just might be time for a change. They graduated. They've been here. They don't feel like the NFL is the next step for them. They just might want to change the scenery. I don't know if Spencer is that kind of guy or he bleeds orange and said, hey, there's no way I'd even think about that. I'm coming back to play for OSU. We're just going to have to find out.
No, that's
it's a different age.
But I mean, unless they have somebody that they are really high on in the portal that wants to come to OSU, then I'm with you. I think you'd welcome him back.
Oh my gosh, you got to have him back. Yeah, you have to have the guy back, right, Al?
Yes, because especially with no running game. I mean, he is their running game.
Yeah.
Well, they got to get better at the running game. They got to figure it out somehow. Because I think they've got pretty good running backs. I don't know if there's a superstar in the bunch, but they got pretty good running backs.
The other thing about tonight is you're down 28-0 after about 5 plays, and so they're not going to run the ball the rest of the night for the most part. So we didn't get to really see that, but they've struggled so much in the running game this year that you can kind of see what was going to happen.
Somebody texted me, what about if he goes to what if he went to Georgia?
Took the midnight train there.
That'd be weird.
It would be weird.
But but let me tell you, you go to Georgia, you have no idea if you're going to start or not.
No, you're right. They'd have to say you will start.
I mean, but they're not going to tell you. They say, hey, you can compete. I mean, they got, Vandergrift was the top high school quarterback in the country there.
No, you're
right.
right.
Got another kid there, so that's
we brought it up earlier today. Converse Judson, right? That's his name, isn't it?
Jark Bernard Converse.
All right, I don't know where I got that.
Converse Judson, the high school.
You're right.
It's a high school.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Well, what do you
Bernard Converse? He is playing great at LSU.
Yes.
And then the other kid,
Christian Holmes,
is playing really well at Ohio State. I told Al before the game, and he made some plays, and I think the Muhammad kid's got a chance to be really good.
Yeah, he's good. He's got some promise. Kendall Daniels, I still believe in a lot of these guys up front. And, Cobb is a playmaker. So there have been some guys that have had some. Jason Taylor's a big-time player.
He's coming back?
I'm just kind of identifying.
Right.
You know,
I
types
didn't.
of
I think
players.
he probably has a COVID year too. So
Well, what you gotta hope is these guys don't go to Ohio State. They want to go and
Al, you're exactly right.
Oh, geez, if they lose,
I mean, like last year, you lose the guy to Ohio State that's really good.
Yep. No, you're right. It's and they're former coaches there
Yeah.
too. So just never
So,
know.
Let's get to the phones. You're on the animal. Go ahead.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. My hands are starting to get cold through my gloves.
Yeah, me too.
Go ahead.
Everyone knows OU's been spoiled at the quarterback position the past 5-6 years. When was the last time OU was this average at the quarterback position? Was it Rhett Bomar era?
Trevor Knight.
Trevor Knight.
Trevor Knight. Blake Bell. Trevor Knight. Austin Kendall.
Yeah. No, they've had him. They've had him. I'll tell you what, though. I'll take Gabriel over or guys we just mentioned.
I will too.
Yeah. Listen. Again, Gabriel's a good, solid football player.
Struggled in the second half tonight.
He
no
did
doubt.
have a bad second half.
No doubt.
That first quarter, though. Wow.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous. I will tell you this, Gideon. If you're an OSU fan, the only positive you bring out of this game is that they didn't quit.
Didn't quit. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because they could have circled the drain after
I told
28-0.
Al, I said, Al, this is gonna be 63-7 or something, you know?
By the way, you know who's a really good player? Drake Stoops.
Oh my gosh. We don't talk enough about
You're right.
him.
We don't talk enough about Drake Stoops.
He made some great catches today. Yeah, he's just a really good player, man. Really good.
Why do I have a feeling he's going to make an NFL roster?
I think he could. I mean, I think he's one of those little
Tough
slot
guys,
dudes,
tough,
you know?
yeah, absolutely.
And I think they're hoping that the kid from Heritage Hall is going to be Freeman's going to be the same type of player.
Which we think they should have redshirted him.
We both agree with that. Yes, should have redshirted him.
Back to the phone. You're on the animal. Go ahead.
Is that me?
Yes.
Hey, Al, Jim, this is Tennessee Sooner.
What's up?
Can I just say that because my mom's from Tennessee and my dad's from Oklahoma.
That's fair.
I grew up and watching all
Davy
the games.
Crocker was from Tennessee also.
Good point.
Very nice.
Born on a mountaintop.
Hey, I want to say, hey, Jim,
Yeah.
you sing great. I want you to sing some Elvis Presley one of these days. And Al, how come you didn't put the Hollies in your top 12?
They were like one of the next three. Trust me. I love the Hollies.
Come on, man.
Love them. Love
Jim, how come you didn't put the outfield in your top 12?
They were like 13. I don't know what to tell you. Here's my. You know
Come
what? You
on,
know why?
man.
I'm telling you why I didn't put the outfit in because they didn't have enough hits.
Come on, man.
I'm serious. I love the outfield, but they just didn't have enough. That's hard to do, man. It's hard to put your best 12. Gideon, what's your number one band of all time?
Beach Boys.
Al's Beach Boys was in there for him.
Top 5.
What's your number one movie of all time?
That's tough because that's either best or favorite. And
Debbie
it's
Does
your
Dallas
favorite.
your favorite.
Debbie Does Dallas. Yeah, obviously, we're past midnight. No, we want favorite.
Why?
Favorite.
Why?
Not best.
Why would I be watching Debbie Does Dallas the first?
You're a college guy.
But I like
dorm room.
vintage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer older movies.
That's an old one.
Oh man. Every once in a while, Al comes up with one that'll just blow you away. So, okay. So, what's your favorite movie? Not best movie. Favorite.
My favorite movie, the one that I probably watch once a year, is a movie that Steven Spielberg made in 1971. It's called Duel, and Dennis Weaver's in it. And
I've seen that.
It's a simple
good.
story. Richard Matheson wrote it. He did a lot of Twilight Zones. It's just a guy in a car and a truck comes up behind him and just follows him.
I remember that across the country,
it's
right?
Yeah.
Did they stop at was there a stop at like a train?
So they did. He stops and the truck runs into like a phone booth and he gets out of the way just in time. And then at the end, sorry to spoil this, but he uses his own car as bait, and the truck goes over this huge cliff.
I remember that movie.
Sort of like the Twilight Zone episode where this woman kept on phoning. Somebody's following her.
I
and it
remember
was
that.
death.
I remember that.
Yeah, the hitchhiker. Great
Oh,
one.
man, that's good stuff. Okay, very good. All right, go ahead, Al. Go back to the phone.
You're on the animal. Go ahead.
Hey, is it me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Gideon, Al, Jim, good to talk to you guys.
Thank you.
I'm watching on the live stream out here in West Texas. I have to go up to my buddy Taylor, who pointed me in your guys' direction. I was watching the Tebow out west there, and saw he got a win. The only way that I think that this Bedlam win would have been better is if he would have lost. But I just want to get you guys' take on. You guys think he has a pathway to the playoff?
Say that again. Who? USC?
Yeah, Tebow.
Yeah, they got a chance.
They got a chance. Yeah, I mean,
There's no doubt.
Three people have it under control. Georgia's getting them no matter what.
I agree.
Winner of Ohio State, Michigan in.
Yep.
TCU, they go undefeated. They're getting in. The fourth spot
It's crazy.
is crazy.
Tennessee's out.
Tennessee's
If
gone.
USC wins out, they're in.
I tend to agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're going to beat Notre Dame, and then they're going to beat either Utah
Somebody
or
good.
Oregon.
Or
Yeah,
Oregon.
somebody good. Yeah. So
12-1, where their only loss was like a 1-point loss at Utah.
no, you're
They're
right.
they're in.
Yeah.
If
It's
they
sickening,
win out.
But you're right. It
Now,
would-
if they
it
lose
would
to
be-
Notre Dame, or if they don't win the Pac-12, that's different. Then they may not get in with two losses.
Two losses, they're not getting it.
Huge if with the way that they're playing right now against Notre Dame and whoever wins this.
Oh,
will
yeah, it
playing
won't
some
be
good
easy to win those
football.
games.
But
Yeah.
if they do it, I agree with you.
Wonder what that line's going to be. USC favored by 3, maybe against Notre Dame. There's not a big home field advantage, so
A lot of Notre Dame fans there.
Yeah,
I
you're right. And
guarantee
Notre
it.
Dame's playing great. I mean, they're playing really, really well. So that'll be a fun game. Is there a time on that game yet? Do we
Yeah,
know?
it's a primetime game next week.
Oh,
on,
great. The minute same
ABC.
time we're watching
OU Tech.
OU and Tech. Okay.
Let's get to the phones. You're on the animal.
Hello.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Looking at bowl projections, do you guys think it'd be better for OU to match up with Arkansas or South Carolina in the Liberty Bowl, or Iowa or Maryland in the Guaranteed Rate Bowl? Because it looks like, according to bowl projections, that's what it's going to be.
I would never want to speak for either of you guys
Okay.
because the amount
That's
of
the easiest
respect I
question
have
of
for
the
both
night.
of you.
Get the hell outta here, Gideon.
Both of these guys want to see OU and Iowa, no matter where it is.
Without a doubt.
They want to see the Sooners and the Hawkeyes
Oh,
do
my
battle.
gosh, that would be horrible.
Absolutely.
Now, as far as who would be easier to win, I think you'd rather play the Big Ten team than the SEC team.
No doubt
I mean,
about it.
South Carolina just beat the crap out of Tennessee tonight.
I will tell you this, though. The Terrapins' offense is pretty good.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, they
Yeah,
could
that's
drop
right.
off 35 against OU. Defense.
What
isn't
about
real
Iowa?
good.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I'll tell you, although they're disgusting, and by the way, OU's defense probably would love to play Iowa, but Iowa's defense is really good. That would be an intriguing matchup, wouldn't it, Al? Iowa's
Yeah,
defense against OU?
It would be.
Arkansas, though, that would be cool if OU and played Arkansas. And I don't even
They beat Ole Miss tonight.
I know they did. They smoked.
Killed them.
Yeah, like 42-27
Smoked
or something.
Wow.
I thought OU and Iowa might be like that Cotton Bowl when OU played
Arkansas.
Please don't remind us
in
of that,
20,
please.
2001.
You might want to replay that one.
2001. I mean,
10
it was
o'clock. 10
happened
o'clock
far
in the
enough
morning.
in the past where it might have
No,
faded
no,
from
no, no.
memory
That
and
will
you
never
wanted to
fade.
refresh.
Never fade.
Actually, Al told me earlier when he gets off the air, he's going to go home and watch a replay of that game.
Yeah, I do that
2001
like
Cotton
once a
Bowl.
month.
Had it converted from
13 to
VHS to
10.
DVD, and it's
Yeah,
And that was one of the coldest days we ever done.
It was
because
raining. Oh my gosh! And the game started at
10 o'clock New Year's Day.
Pre-game started at 7 a.m. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Why do you got to remind you, Gideon? You just want to get a shot in late here? Come on, dude.
By the way, we got to give it Mark Rogers. He's one. He picked OU to cover it tonight.
Yes, he did. Definitely got to give it up to him. Definitely. Here's some college football for this coming week. Notre Dame at USC. Is it? I guess -4 USC.
Yep.
Let's see here. Florida at Florida State -11.5.
Wow, that's that game.
Florida State. Yeah, Florida
Florida's
State.
really bad.
They're bad.
Florida
Listen
State
to this.
is-
Listen to this. LSU at Texas A&M. A&M getting 8. on their home field. Wow.
That's unbelievable.
That is really bad. Yep.
Back to the phone, John the Animal.
Lines are empty. We'll go ahead and break.
Well, why don't we fill that?
Good
You want
break.
to? We'll take some more calls. You want to get back after this break? 405-900-9957. 405-900-9957. That's the way you can get in. We'll take a couple calls when we get back. Mr. Al Eschbach, Mr. Gideon Hamilton. It's football feedback. Bud Light Game Time live from historic Campus Corner in Norman in the RV General Store Sports Animal Mobile Studios, driven by Eskridge Lexus of Oklahoma City. 28-13 OU wins. Gideon, what we got? We got Thunder Monday night. Is that right?
Yeah, Thunder Monday night against the Knicks, and that kicks off a 3-game homestand.
And what'd you say about the Knicks? It's their 5th game on the road?
Yeah, it'll be the 5th game of a 5-game road trip, second night of a back-to-back. So if you want to see the Thunder get a big win, that might be the night to grab a ticket.
Yep. Let's go. We'll be right back on the leader in sports, The Animal.
Myself, Al Eschbach, Jim Traber, Gideon Hamilton, Oklahoma 28-13. Got to give Michael Turk again.
I mean, how many times did he punt, Matt? 10 times? 9? Matt Meyer, did you quit? I think Matt Meyer went home. He's done with us.
No,
I'm just kidding, dude. I know.
merely looking
You're
up
looking.
what you need me to look up.
Yeah, it's got to be at least 9. I think it was 9
He
or 10.
punted 11 times.
For how many yards?
539 yards. It's an average of 49 a punt.
Oh, my goodness.
That's incredible.
What a weapon.
You talk about a great guy getting in the portal.
Well, and yeah, you're right. And let me tell you, Al, we talked the pregame. OSU special teams have been better than OU's. But OU was better tonight.
Yep.
You know what's interesting about what you just said, Al? I remember last year, because he was here last year, right?
Yes, he was.
Was last year his first year, or was he here in 19
No,
or 20?
last year. He didn't punt very much, remember?
Well, that's what I was going to bring up. I remember somebody saying, I don't know who it was, but basically saying, if you're a punter, why would you want to transfer to OU? Because you'll never punt.
Yeah.
How things have changed. You know?
11.
Absolutely.
I
Big
wonder,
sample size.
I wonder when the last time OU's punted 11 times in a game. How many possessions did they have in that Texas game? Do you remember? You don't have to look it up, but do you remember? Was it a lot?
Well, and they had turnovers, and they got stopped on 4th down a couple of times. So I don't think he punted anywhere near.
No.
In the Texas game, he punted, let's see, once, 2, 3 times in the first half.
Yeah.
Remember, they also had a couple of interceptions, got stopped on downs.
Yeah.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He punted 8 times against Texas.
Okay. 11 times and you win, 8 times you get blown out.
Almost 50 yards a kick in this weather. I mean,
I know. It's crazy. One of them landing on a 1-yard line, too.
Let's get to the phones. You're the animal.
Go ahead.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Good.
Hi, guys. How are you?
good.
I got a little something to talk about Turk, the punter. If you watch a replay of that, my tickets are in the north end zone, and a lot of times when they punt, the ball will spiral like a quarterback throwing the ball. I noticed the last 2 punts were more like a helicopter. They were flat, spinning. And I wonder if maybe he's maybe worked on that to maybe cause a fumble with the punt recovery guy.
I mean, it could very well be. I mean, these punters nowadays, they do a lot of different things. It used to be, remember, you tried to get a spiral. Remember that? Yep. They don't do that anymore. They really don't. They got all different kinds of ways to punt. So could very well be. I think what he's saying was the punt was going sideways.
Right. He's trying to put some spin on it to give guys trouble. We were talking about the future of OSU's offensive line, their running game for next year. What's it look like for OU?
Well, I mean, it depends on Anton Harrison. I mean, who comes back? Get all these guys that can come back. So Gray's gone. So you got
Barnes
is going to be really good.
Yeah.
You got to see how this Sawchuk kid, who's one of the top running backs in the country a year ago, didn't play at all this year.
And he's a guy that you might be careful about the portal.
You're right. Yeah.
I mean, when he doesn't play the whole daggone year, and
Marcus
he's
Major.
Is he a 5-star coming out of high school? 4-star.
Sawchuk was a 4-star, but it was a top 10 back.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Oh, let me tell you something. As long as Bedenbo's the offensive line coach, they're probably gonna block pretty well. Yeah. That guy's really good. Now, dude ripped on Dickey earlier today. I'd be interested to see what thoughts. I wonder if Mike Gundy will make any changes in his staff. He's very loyal, right? He is very, very loyal to his staff. So we'll see.
Well, he's got rid of defensive people before, hasn't he? Coaches?
Yeah, from time to time.
Got rid of Bill Young. Got rid of who else? Made some changes.
He's made some moves. There's no doubt about that.
Glenn Spencer, I think he dismissed.
Yeah, he did not want Glenn Spencer around anymore.
Yeah, you're right. Let's get to the phones. You're on the animal.
How are you guys?
Good.
I got a question about the NFL draft. So I was wondering if you guys thought Bryce Young from Alabama or Will Levis from Kentucky would go number 1 in the NFL draft, or if there's another quarterback in the college that you think are better than them two.
Well, it looks as if it's going to be the kid from Ohio State, number
CJ
1.
Stroud.
And then they continue to have Levis number 2.
I've
but I
never
don't
gotten that. Never gotten it.
I don't see that at all.
Al and I were watching a game today, and we're going like,
me?
what? I don't see it. I don't understand it. But sometimes, Gideon, you just never know.
Yep.
Last call.
Do 2 more.
2 more.
You're on the animal.
Hello?
What's up?
Hey, is this me?
Yes.
Yep.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, I got a question for Jim, please.
Go right ahead.
Gotcha. Hey, so obviously OU and Oklahoma State aren't going to make the playoffs this year, you know. So I was wondering if you can maybe spend 5 to 10 minutes a week talking about.
Yeah, we're not spending 5 or 10 minutes on anything.
Go ahead. What do you say?
Yeah.
Get him. Last call.
Okay.
Okay.
Last call. Call me Monday.
Ladies
Yeah,
and
call
gentlemen,
Monday.
at this time, I need to announce it's last call at the bar.
No,
It's
it ain't.
time for the last call of the game. Sponsored by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's makes the good stuff for good times. Find recipes, videos, and more at Tito'sVodka.com.
I had some Tito's the other night.
Good
Really
stuff. Let's. Okay, you're on the animal. Go ahead.
Hey, what happens if Utah beats Oregon and that knocks USC and Oregon out of the Pac-12 championship game?
Well, no. It won't. If USC beats, USC is in, right?
Yeah.
No, USC's in.
No. Utah's got one loss in the conference, and they beat USC.
But it would be Utah and USC.
I thought they were in different divisions.
No, there's no divisions there.
There's no divisions in the Pac-12.
That's right. There's no. By the way, I'm not going to rip you, my
USC is
man.
in.
Go ahead, because I like 3 months ago, I did not know that.
I didn't either.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, USC is in the championship game, whether they lose to Notre Dame next week or not.
Now, the winner of this game going on right now will have obviously the advantage because they'll only have the one loss, and
right.
Utah and the loser of this game and Washington will have 2.
Right.
But if Oregon was to trip up next week against Oregon State, see, Washington, they beat Oregon last week, I believe it was, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yes.
Last week. Yep.
Yeah. Yes, last week. So whoever wins this game right now is not necessarily out.
They got to win next week.
They probably need to win next week.
That's right.
Just
Final thoughts, Gideon.
Another game, another meaningful game for Oklahoma State that is over very shortly after it started, and they just have to figure out a way to come out with a higher level of focus in games like this. Otherwise, they're just going to keep putting themselves behind the 8 ball and have a tougher hill to climb. So I don't know what else to say, but some of these starts have been atrocious in some of these high-profile games.
For OU, it's a good win. I mean, you bowl eligible after the Texas game. I didn't see win 3 more games. They got a chance next week to win another game, get to 8-4. So after
they got to be killing themselves about losing to West Virginia, don't they?
Yes. Yeah, that just an absolute terrible loss. So they can win 8 games. They win a bowl game. So
and they get extra practice.
And they get extra practice. And you bring it up all the time. So
it's a huge key.
It's a huge key to a disappointing season, and but they do get bowl eligible, and at least the defense played well tonight for the most part.
Yeah, got to win. I mean, you got to win the game, and they did. They're their favorite. Gideon, thanks so much. Great having you, brother.
Good to see you guys.
We'll hear you. I'm sure we'll talk to you on Monday when we get ready for the Thunder.
Will.
And Al, as usual, it's been great all year long.
See ya.
Yeah, so he didn't say anything back. You notice that? Very
I'm
nice.
thirsty.
Matt Meyer, tell the people what's coming up.
Kind of thirsty too. I got a Coke over here. Somebody get Al something like a water.
Oh, he will. Trust me. He's going to be right down there in a minute.
What he's drinking. Locker room shows up next. So we've got Brent Venables. We'll hear from Mike Gundy. We'll hear from some of the other coordinators and players next. And Kerry will join me once he gets out of all the post-game interviews. So we'll begin the college locker room show with Brent Venables coming up next.
Very nice. I want to thank our man Josh Lupton for doing a great job all year long as usual. Cisco, his first year of college football with us. I thought he did a bad job, but he's getting better. Just joking. He's my boss. I can't say that. And of course, Matt Meyer, the man who runs everything on Saturdays. We will continue next week, obviously. We'll be doing pre- and post-game for both OU and OSU. Gideon got 11 o'clock game, so that's in Stillwater, right? Yep. Yeah, so you'll be up there next week, going by see him and Rashaun. And Alan, I'll be on the air next week at 3:30, getting ready for the final game of the season with OU. So thank you to everybody. Thank you so much to all our great listeners out there. We'll be back on the air on Monday. College Locker Show coming up. It is football feedback, Light GameTime, live from historic campus corner in Norman. RV General Store Sports Animal Mobile Studio, driven by Eskridge Lexus on Oklahoma City. And by the way, thank you so much to all our great advertisers out there. We appreciate y'all very, very much. Oklahoma wins 28-13. Stay with us. This is the home of the Thunder and the leader in sports, the Animal.